This is Louis Theroux, and you are watching Tom Aspinall's The Inner Game.
Like, I've never seen an eye poke so bad in my life. Your eyelid gapes like a wizard's sleeve. When I got my blue belt in BJJ, I remember walking out of the gym and I thought, I've just left the final room where anyone gives two fucks about this belt.
What about Strictly though? How was that?
So I strongly believe I had the gay vote until Kelvin came in and took all of them gays away from me. Like,
Tom for Strictly or not?
No, there's not a number that could make me do it.
I'm telling you, there is.
There isn't.
There's no pressure like standing on stage and going, this might be going south. This might be going south.
Welcome to Tom Aspinall's The Inner Game. We are at Champion Combat Centre and I'm Charlie Moose, just like you, the everyday person, trying to find out how people reach the top of their game, and that's what this podcast is all about. And with me, my co-host, Mr. Aspinall. The man is that big that he has his own sponsor for his dog, and it's dog food, isn't it, mate? What's going on there? Talk us through your sponsor.
It's not it's not a sponsor. It's just someone who gives me. Why do you always have to start the podcast on a negative note like this? Just throwing me under the bus.
Fans have got to know.
It's not about me. It's not about me today. We've got Chris in the building. Welcome, Chris.
Hello.
Chris Ramsey, that
Hi.
is. We'll give him a clap.
Give him a
Pleasure
clap.
to be here.
Welcome, Chris. Me and we go way back at this point, Chris, don't we?
Yeah, man.
For anyone who doesn't know, I met Chris from showing up in his bedroom naked.
Yes.
Many moons ago.
I was naked. You were not naked.
I was semi-naked.
Semi-naked. Well, you guys do fight it. I always forget until I really think about watching. It's when someone walks in when I'm watching UFC, or when someone walks past us on the train and I'm watching on the train and I think, these guys are in their underpants.
Yeah.
They're in your underpants fighting. It's a bit much like.
It is a bit, but it's even worse. Like, see, with that, so let me take you back to the scene. So for anyone who doesn't know,
Yeah.
This was Michael McIntyre's. What's the show called?
Michael McIntyre's big. Was it his Big Show? Big Show.
Big Show.
And the segment was called The Midnight Game Show, where he burst into my house in the middle of the night, and Rosie had set it up, my wife, and he brings, if there's something in your sort of, personality that you really like, they do research to find out. They found out I was a massive UFC fan, so they brought you in my room.
Yeah, so that's what happened, and I was obviously there at that time. Yeah. If I remember right, and no, I do remember, I was coming off a knee injury.
Yes.
So I was pretty out of shape at that point.
Yes.
And then they dropped the one on me of like, right, you got to take your shirt off.
Right.
And I was like, well, steady on, mate. I've just been on
Yeah.
been on the pies. I've got to take my shirt off here on TV. But yeah, that was an interesting moment.
It was very. So the surreal bit for me was I was there when you did your knee in. We hadn't met at the time, but I was there at the side of the octagon when you'd done your knee, and I was watching it. It was the Curtis Blaydes 0-2.
First fight. The second one went well.
The second one. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But the first one. So I was sitting, and I met your brother Joe for the first time, and I was literally sitting. I don't know if I've told you this. I was sitting with Joe, and we're having a couple of drinks, and it was the fight. It was a great night of fights, and we're waiting for you at the end. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna blitz him." And we're like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Well, you should come with. After this, we're gonna have an after party." And me and my mates were like, "Yeah, we'll definitely come with you." Yeah. And then you done your knee in.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't
I've
great.
never fucking witnessed such a drop in atmosphere. It was literally like a death. Like everything just rolled like that, and me and my mates just slinked away. I was like, I'm not. I can't crash this after party where he's going to be in a wheelchair.
Well,
like,
do you want me to tell you about the after party?
Yes.
It was actually a really weird after party that we had. So we went back to the hotel. Obviously, I wasn't planning on having an after party. The plan was straight to the hospital, get the knee checked out. Anyway, got the medic. My knee blew up like a balloon, and they were like, "We're not going to get an accurate scan on that today. So we're just going to take you back to the hotel." So I'm like, all right, fair enough. Wow. But obviously, when you fight, you've got friends coming in from everywhere.
of course.
So the general consensus is like, got to catch up with the friends, have a few drinks, have an after party. So I went back to the hotel, obviously I had my team there and stuff, and then they were like, "Oh, such a body's here, he wants to come and see us." So I'm like, okay, bring him into the room. I'm there with a big swollen leg. Such a body's here.
Fucking Don Corleone.
We ended up having, honestly, in my hotel room, Bruce Buffer was there at one point. There was all kinds of UFC fighters in there. I'm just there with my leg up, like having a beer. Curtis Blaydes actually came to the room.
I saw the photo of you.
That was a cool guy.
Nice.
Curtis Blaydes is a cool guy, but yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I would say it doesn't get much worse than that, but I also nearly got my eyeballs poked out. So
Dude, man.
it does get worse than that.
I've just said to you beforehand, I watched it with my 10-year-old. It's the first time I've let him watch UFC. And I was literally going, oh, this is Daddy's friend Tom. He's the world champion. You wait till you see this. He's brilliant. And the fight was going so good, and it was just shaping up to be such a good fight. And then the eye poke happened, and then my 10-year-old saw it in. I don't know if you've seen the replay of it, but there's a moment
just a few
when he pulls it out, your eyelid gapes,
it does
like a wizard's sleeve, like it flaps in the wind. Like I've never seen an eye poke so bad in my life. It was unbelievable. And my 10-year-old was not only mortified by it, but I was just saying outside. Days after, he was like, "How's your friend's eye?" And I was like, "He doesn't ask how any. He's 10. He's worlds in fast forward. It affected him that much. He kept asking how your eye was."
That's very nice of him. Is he into his MMA or is he not?
Do you know what it is? I took him to BJJ. I took him. He's done a few sessions. I think he's got 2 stripes on his white belt, and he just kind of went off it a bit. And you don't want to force them. And I did jiu-jitsu when I was like 25. I did it for like 6 or 8 months. Loved it, and then I fell away from it, and then I got back into it. And I feel like, I don't want to get weird here, but I feel like it finds you when you need it. You find it again when you need it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How did you get into MMA?
Jiu-jitsu is enjoying MMA. You mean?
Just in the sense.
Because I'll do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but I will not be kicked in the leg or punched in the face.
So you just jiu-jitsu at the moment.
Just jiu-jitsu, and it'll always be just jiu-jitsu. I'm not doing a Paul Smith and doing the scouts jumping. No, absolutely no chance, mate.
You're still going with the jiu-jitsu though?
Yeah, I'm still going. Yeah, Alex Enlund, my coach, texted this morning saying, because I haven't been because I'm on tour, and he texted this morning saying, when you come back, you might get your white belt. I'm blue belt, so it was very upsetting to hear. Very upsetting. But it's just because I'm on tour, I can't do it that much at the minute, but it gives us so much time off from my own head. My head, it's exhausting sometimes being in here, especially thinking, I'm going all over the place here, but like with comedy, there's no right answer to what you're doing. There's no like, do you know what I mean? There's no this goes here, this goes there. It's always like it's completely random. You can pick any joke, can go anywhere, any story, any routine can go anywhere. So it's really nice to do something that does have steps. Yes, there's a million different answers for jiu-jitsu and stuff, but learning a thing and drilling a thing and going, this is how it's done, is really good.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Do you know what I mean? It's nice for your brain. But I was saying to someone the other day, when I come off the mats, I've had so much time off from my own brain. There's like a traffic jam, and I've got verbal diarrhea when I come off. And I'm fine with my guys at my gym because they all know us and they're all sound. But when I've been travelling to different gyms on tour, I finish and I literally leg it out of the door, because otherwise I'm going to sit and I'm just going to overshare with all of these strangers. So I just go straight.
That's part of like the hive of training, isn't it? It's like your endorphins are going. You feel like you've exercised. Because I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just me. I'm pretty sure it's not just me. But like, you feel like you're buzzing, aren't you? I don't know. Like when you train, you're buzzing about something and you just feel like connected to everybody else.
Even when you get battered, I mean, you won't know this as much as I do. But when I'm getting battered, it's still amazing. It's still amazing. And I don't know what it is. And I explain jiu-jitsu to people, and it's like you're explaining a cult. And especially when it's like, but you're a comedian, you're a podcasting comedian. What do you mean you fight with blokes? I'm like, well, it's not really fighting, but it's kind of is. But it's just...
Is that your biggest outlet then in that sort of chaos, would you say?
I love it, yeah. Jiu-jitsu, bit of golf. I'm getting into my golf. But when when I've got time to go and do it, and it's just awkward with being on tour and stuff, and like a little twinge on me, if someone hurts me leg or hurts whatever. When you're on tour, if you cancel a gig, you're ruining everyone's day who's coming to that gig. Thousands of people. And obviously it costs. So even when I'm rolling on tour, I take it very lightly.
Are you so you travel around? Do you just pop into random gyms just wherever you are?
Oh no. It's pre-booked and it's people I trust.
Right.
So I went. I'm not going into some tea time class and getting heel hooked by an 18-year-old and not being able to do my gig on the night. You've got no chance. I did with Paul Craig. I dropped in with Paul Craig and did a session with Paul. That was great. And then there was a place that I knew of in Milton Keynes called Circle of Vigour, and I dropped in and did it there. It'll only be places where I know people. Like
I was going to say, because you're always going to get those people. Because even I get it. Like if I'm going to different gyms, I'm like,
I imagine I
can feel the eyes on me being like, Tom Aspinall's there. I'm going to fuck him up today. And I'm like, no, it's not.
The difference is, though, there's a lot more kudos in fucking you up than fucking me up.
People always want the picture and they always want the story and they always want to be like, I've rolled with Chris Ramsey today. He's shit. I battered him.
Yeah.
I'm putting this on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm not asked about his gig.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes.
I rolled with one guy in a place, and he was sound. He dropped for an ankle lock, which annoyed us. Dropped back for a straight ankle lock, and then we rolled for a bit. And then afterwards, he went. He was like really like, and I thought, oh god, this guy like hates us. As soon as the bell finished, he was like, oh, I love the podcast, by the way. I love your stuff. And I was like, look, so you could have said that before. And I was legit terrified of you. It's mad, man. But you must. So you're telling me you will turn up at random gyms and people want to fuck you up.
Not so much anymore.
Yeah.
People are more respectful, obviously.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, there's been times like I'm in America or whatever and I'm doing some media and then I'll just, I have to train. I'm a professional athlete. I can't be there. Like if I'm away somewhere, it's like I've got to get my work in. Yeah, especially if I've got a fight coming up. Especially if because predominantly when I travel, it's doing media for fights. Mm-hmm. So it's like I might be 6-8 weeks away from a fight and I've got to train. I can't just be like, I'm just eating a pizza tonight and just going to chill. I have to train. So I just got to be a bit more selective of what I do. But I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty all right. At this point, like I know everyone all around the world, so I can drop in somewhere and people will be all right.
Have you seen the Craig Jones video where he's somewhere training and the translator says, they don't want to drill anymore, they just want to roll? And this guy goes really hard with him and he fucking nearly pulls his leg off.
Craig told me about it. Craig, because I've trained with Craig a few times.
And I've seen,
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty common thing. People will try and, injure you a little bit.
You've got to be a maniac. Like, what kind of crack is that? Damien Meyer came to our gym and I got to roll with Damien Meyer and that was amazing. But no one in the gym, like, I don't know if it's just the gym I go to, no one in the gym was like, I'm going to get the better. It was like, no, it was just, everyone was just so respectful of him. And he did a massive, like, seminar, 2-day seminar. It was amazing. And we all got a few of us got to roll with him. And it was really cool. But it was, it was like me. Him rolling with me was like me rolling with my 5-year-old.
Yeah.
I love the there'll be a lot of similarities obviously with the MMA interests as well, but also I think for both of you the amount of pressure that you go under with your profession as well is definitely something we'd love to explore, mate. But where we'd love to go with it as well as also being from Everton, you spoke about it earlier. What was it like growing up in the Northeast and sort of, was it always the aim to make people laugh and be a stand-up comic?
Do you know what it is, right? It wasn't until I got asked stuff like this later on in my career, in my life, and because of my career, and I started dissecting it myself, and it was like, when you were a kid growing up, when I was a kid growing up, you had the hard lads. So some lads, they were hard, that was their thing. You had some lads who were good at football. Normally the hard and the Venn diagram of hard and football were, there's a lot of overlap. You had the lads who, were like a bit rough. You had the lads who could get the girls, and then you had the funny lads. And I never considered myself as the funny lad, ever. But it wasn't until later on that I realised, so if I was ever going to meet someone, just got a leg kick there.
Oh yeah, cheeky leg kick.
Absolutely nailed it. Straight on Instagram. If I was going to meet someone, say I was going to meet the lads at the cinema or whatever, I would run through in my head before getting there. What can I tell them when I get there? What's happened to us? What's happened this week? What's happened at home? What have I seen on the telly that's funny that I can say? So I was almost like preparing routines. And it wasn't until later in life when people asked this question like this, I thought, oh my God, it was always my thing. Getting a laugh off someone in a social situation was always a big thing. And like, it was just completely, it was subconscious. I didn't realise until later on. And if I'd had an interaction with you, if I'd anyone, anywhere, if I'd had an interaction and I hadn't got a laugh out of them, it was a failure.
Oh, wow.
Does that make sense?
How did you feel when they didn't laugh?
Devastated. Still do. Absolutely devastated. It was just, it was something I always subconsciously went towards. Anything at all was like, I need to get a laugh. I need to make this person laugh. And I don't know whether it was a need to be liked or a need to be found as funny. I can't work out what it was.
There was never a drive towards like, I want to be a comic at 15.
It wasn't until I knew it was a job I could do. So I had loads of DVDs and videos, like Lee Evans, Billy Connolly, Ricky Gervais when he first... So it was Ricky Gervais's fault in a way that I didn't know that there was a path to comedy, because I watched like Lee Evans and he was in Something About Mary. So you go, oh, well, he's a famous man. And you think, I thought that stand-up was a folly, like a side quest almost. Billy Connolly did The Audience With, the really famous one where like Robbie Coltrane and Parkinson and them are in the crowd. And then Ricky Gervais did The Office and then went, I'm going to do stand-up as well, and did that. And that reinforced in my head, doing stand-up in massive theatres in front of people, that's just a thing dudes who are already famous do. So that, I don't know how you get there, and I kind of ignored it. I thought, I don't know how you get there. And then weirdly, like one of my best mates, Carl Hutchinson, who supports me on tour, he was in the van that dropped me off today. He phoned us one day and he went, me and him were always making people laugh in the group. And he phoned us one day and he went, I'm going to do stand-up. And I went, what? And I can't describe that. You know the scene in Jaws where he realises he's sitting on the beach and that really famous pull focus where he realises the shark and it zooms but it doesn't. It's where they move the camera back and it's
become like a meme now.
Yeah. So it's that it was that moment. He went, I'm going to go and do stand-up. And I went, what? Like what? And he went, oh yeah, you can turn up at this place and you just tell them, you put your name down and you come back the week later and you get up and you just go on stage. And I went, what are you going to do? I'm just going to tell stories and say some stuff. And I was like, and the feeling I felt to go and do it as quick as possible, it was like someone telling us that there was like, I don't know, like around the corner they're giving away free Porsches. Go there now and get a free Porsche before they run out.
What's so like an excitement?
It was an unbelievable panic, excitement. It was like someone had just moved a curtain out the way and went, there's a door there. And I had no idea the door was there.
Oh, wow.
And I went through it. And weirdly, name dropping, I was interviewing John Cena once for a TV show. And he was like, so how do you get into comedy? And I told him that. And I said, I didn't know there was a path from man on the street to man in front of 3,000 people. I didn't know there was a path until someone told us. And he said it was exactly the same for him with wrestling. He didn't know there was a local scene. He just thought, I'm a nobody. How do I become WWE? And it wasn't until someone showed him the path.
So you realise that this is what you can do on a local scene.
Yeah.
Well, so what you have to do is you have to sign up for it.
So I went to watch. So me and two of the lads, three of us got into it at the same time from the same friendship group. So Carl, a lad called John, Carl did his first gig, went really well by all accounts. You had to go up and sign up, and he did that. And by the time I'd been told to sign up, but it got there and signed up, Carl, the night I was doing my first gig, Carl was in York doing a gig. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, he's already like traveling for gigs. It's fucking York. It's like an hour on the train. I was like, oh my God, he's in York. So this other lad, so Carl signed up first, did the gigs, and then John signed up, and I went to watch John's first gig. And no disrespect to anyone there. Well, no. Yeah, no, I suppose disrespect, but in a way, I watched John, who was great, but the other people on, I went, okay, I think I'm funnier than you. Like, I think, you must do it yourself. If you watch a fighter and you go, I'd fucking take it.
Paddy McGuinness said exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly the same thing.
I was like, I think I'm funnier than you, because some of them are, bless them, unbelievably bad, but it's open mic, that's the crack. And I remember thinking, okay, I think I'm funnier than you. And I remember that I spoke to the guy who ran it, and I said, I'd love to do it. And he went, right. And he got his diary out and he went, right, you can come back in 3 weeks, 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And I drove my little Renault Clio home from Newcastle, and I went to Asda Superstore 24 hours in a place called Bolden on the way home, and I bought a notebook and a pen, and I spent the first couple of weeks just writing down every funny thought I'd had, like, oh, why does that happen with that? Why does that? Wrote them all down, put them all into a 5-minute set, turned up and did it.
So when you got that 5-minute set wrote down and you walk on stage, how much of that 5-minute set are you doing it like word for word, or is it like you just got ideas coming in? And
so now I do it differently, but the first one I had it. Weirdly, I like structured it. I don't know how. I think a lot of this stuff's luck. I think a lot of this game is luck. A lot of it's right place, right time. A lot of it's natural talent, and a lot of it's preparation. But I was lucky that I watched a couple of it. I had this bit. I don't know if you remember. There was this advert about STIs, and I think it was at the time. I think I was watching a lot of Hollyoaks and stuff, so I was like the target audience. But we can remember it was like sexually transmitted infections.
I do remember.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and the person they took their pants off, and instead of Calvin Klein, it said like chlamydia across the top.
Yeah,
of the
I do
pants,
remember.
right?
Actually.
So I did a bit. I can't remember it, but I did a bit about that. And at the same time, the same advert that was on the telly was remember the Marks and Spencers? This is not just.
Yeah.
So I combined them two, and I did this thing, and then I did what's called a callback. I put it in at the end where you call back to the bit at the beginning. And I was dead lucky because there was a student guy doing a set, and he had about, I'm not kidding, he had about 35 people with him, and this room was tiny. 35 people in this room was a fucking crowd. He had 35 people with him, mates and that, to watch him. And I went on, and obviously I got to go on before him, and the room was full, and I had a really good gig. And I think if I'd turned up and there'd been I've done that gig since and there'd been 5 people in the room. If I'd turned up and there'd been 5 people and I'd have died on my arse, I don't think I'd have got back on.
Really? For yourself?
I do not think I'd have got back on.
Because that's what I was going to ask you, because you've already said that like it was such a big thing for you to make people laugh.
Yeah.
And then that thought of like on such an early stage, if something bombs and like you're...
Honestly, obviously I'll never know. It's like a sliding doors moment. I'll never know. But if that student wasn't there that night filming that with all of his mates, I think genuinely I'd have went on. There'd have been 5 or 6 people in. I'd have done it. I'd have got a bit of a laugh, maybe a titter, but mainly silence. I wouldn't have went back.
Have you had the situations where like you've wrote stuff down, you come up with ideas, and they've just gone to absolute shit?
Every time.
Oh, that would be awful.
It's mad. It's like, it's one of them things where you can't practice. You can practice in your bedroom in front of the mirror with a fucking comb in your hand as much as you want, but you don't know until you're in front of them. And you can write something down and you go, this is fucking great. This is definitely going to work. There's no feeling in the world like saying in your head, this is going to work, and then saying it in front of a crowd and it getting fuck all.
How do you deal with it?
It's just devastating. Yeah. Like, it's like driving home and running through your head in the car and going like, you've ever done that thing where you're so embarrassed you have to just go like, and just get the thought out of your head. Or like sometimes I'll be driving and something will pop in my head like of a death or something, like a death on stage or something, and you're literally out of nowhere. It's almost like a form of Tourette's. You just go, fuck off, like to get the thought out of your head. Like, it's, mate, like I've just started this new tour that I'm on now, and the first 3 gigs of it, the main bulk of it went well, but the bits in between, fucking silence. You've got to drop it. You've got. That's why I believe that I wouldn't have went back if I'd bombed, because if I say something and it dies, it's gone. And I've got mates who go, well, if you reword it, it's tainted, it's gone. I'm not doing it. It's dead.
Was there another path at that point though? If you'd gone, nothing?
I was doing film and media at uni, which I enjoyed. And I remember I was doing gigs, and I started getting paid to do gigs. And I remember the day I went in to see me, like the seminar leader or whatever he was called, to tell him I didn't want to come back to uni, and I said I'll defer it till next year. And that night I was driving to Grimsby from South Shields to do a gig for 40 quid cash in hand, and the fuel there and back was 55 quid. So yeah, it's I quit the uni and I jumped in with both feet, just straight in. And I had mates who, by the time I was like a professional comedian, I had mates who were finishing the film and media degree, and they came straight out of uni with a film and media degree, straight into the recession. And I was in, comedy's largely recession-proof, touch wood, the reckon's recession-proof. And yeah, I was dead chuffed I'd made that leap. Do you know what I mean? I just think it was one of them things where nothing else in my life had ever grabbed us. Comedy grabbed us by the scruff of the neck and just took us, and I just fucked everything else off and did it. And my mates were all, nights out and, buying nice cars and they're settling down and doing jobs where they were getting much more money. And I wasn't making any money for ages, but it was the thrill of doing it. And it was that I've got 5 god kids and I've only been to 1 of their christenings.
Wow. Genuinely, when I was looking at your story, I was thinking what's so refreshing is how much graft you've put in. It's weird though, because I've got a mate who works in Nissan. He works in Nissan building cars on the production line. Actually, he's not on the production line. He kills us for saying this. He's actually just been promoted. He's not on the production line anymore. But he was on the production line for 18 years. Shift work. So I can't, in full consciousness, be in his company and go on about how hard I've worked, because compared to what he does on a daily basis, mine's not really work. Do you understand what I mean?
I don't know. I think, like, even me just getting into like a bit more podcasting and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, even this kind of stuff, like, it does take it out of you. So like,
it does.
You travel into a different place in front of loads of different people you never met before.
Yeah.
And standing up there trying to make them like, do you never just think, I'm fucking in a bad mood today? Can't be arsed.
That's so. The podcast is the hardest one. When there's a bad mood, when there's like, the crowd will amp you up.
Yeah.
You know yourself. The crowd will amp you up. And if I go on stage and they're getting the laugh back, and but when me and Rosie sit down, obviously I do a podcast with my wife. When me and Rosie sit down, if we've had a crossed word or we've had an argument or something bad's happened, because life's life, to switch it on when there's no laughs coming back at you, you're just feeding off each other. sometimes we finish the podcast, we're starving and we're knackered. And I know it sounds ridiculous to anyone who doesn't do this because it's just talking. It's just talking. To speak about my mate from Nissan, right? I was telling this story yesterday. There's a wider group of mates, so I don't say as much, but the lad from Nissan I see quite a lot. And he's always, I'm not, like, he's you kill us for saying this, but his catchphrase is, I'm knackered off graft. Are you all right, mate? I'm knackered off graft. Fucking, I'm like, you've been working there 18 years, you should be used to it. I'm knackered off graft. And I never say anything. And I went to the pub with the extended group of mates, and I was sitting down, and Sean came in, and I went, you all right, Sean? And one of the lads out of nowhere just went, oh, no, he's knackered off graft. And I was like, oh, does he say that to you as well? But I never rinse him for it because it's punching down, because I'm in a position where, you know, I can't go out, you know, and you go, you fucking talk for a living, you piss about, because in his eyes I piss about. But seeing the other lads jump on it, I was like, all right, okay, yeah.
Love that. How do you... So you're getting, like, there's obviously that feeling back from the crowd. You've got the 35 people.
Yeah.
And then you're starting to... Is it slowly sort of rise, or have you gone like that? Where did you sort of find that point where you were like, right, I need to sort of stay grounded here and stay to being Chris?
Yeah. Well, your first death on stage, which comes quick. I think I got paid for my second ever gig. It was only a tenner, but I remember I had it on my MySpace bio. I got paid for my second ever gig. It must be some kind of record, it said. And you get a bit, you know, after one gig, I was telling people I was a comedian. I was like, I'm a comedian. I had a routine in my second gig about being a comedian. And it's like, you've done one gig, you prick. Like, and it snowballs in a way, but it hits a tree now and then. Like, I think it was my fourth or fifth gig, was just, got too confident. And you get to the point where you go, everything I write's gold. This is everything I've come up with here is absolute gold. This is great. Fourth or fifth gig went on, same place. I think I was hosting. Yeah, I think I was hosting it. And all these, I'll try these out. The Lovers, I'm great. Hardly anyone in. Unbelievable death. I can still, if I could paint, I'd be able to paint you. I could paint you exactly what the room looked like when it happened. It's etched in there forever. Unbelievable death. And it's like a reset after that. But after, like, every gig you think, is this the gig I'm going to get found out? Even, you know, I'm doing Liverpool Empire tonight, like I did, you know, I'm doing big rooms on this tour. Is this the gig I get found out? Is this the one where they all go, hold on a second, this is fucking bollocks, this is he's shite. Never leaves you.
Is that that's imposter syndrome?
Another imposter syndrome sufferer, because
I think everyone's got it.
This is something that's been really interesting about this podcast, is like everybody, as I said to you, like off air, this is a non-MMA podcast, but it's more of a podcast about like successful people. Everybody who's come on the podcast, in my opinion, and Charlie's, hopefully, is really successful.
Thank you.
But everybody...
What happened today was I just... Who cancelled?
We just had to fill the slots in. No, but everybody, literally, I think every single person has talked about imposter syndrome. Yeah. Everybody.
100%.
But also that self-belief as well, that start off, like they're almost, I don't know, they're just like on the ride and just going. Yeah. But they've still got that self-belief and telling themselves you're going to be all right in there, which I can hear from yourself as well.
It's weird, like, as soon as I started stand-up, there was no part of us that didn't think, oh, I'll be doing massive rooms. Like, it was in my head, when I do a DVD, when I do a special, when I've got my own TV show, when I, you know, like, the podcast came out of nowhere, to be fair. Doing the podcast with Rosie, that wasn't on that was her idea. That wasn't on my horizons at all, and that became the biggest thing.
Was she in that world beforehand?
Yeah, I was gonna.
So Rosie used to be a Ponton's Blue Coat. She was a singer, a dancer. She worked abroad in hotels, like a rep, kind of like a rep, but more on the entertainment team. And what happened was, when we started doing the podcast together and we started doing everything together, people were like shocked at how good she was and how quick she is and how well she can hold herself. She did local radio, so she was really good at the audio and stuff, and telling me to stop and get to the point quicker when I'm talking, which I still haven't really got. But people were shocked at how good she was and how much, like, what we call it in comedy, you call it your chops. She's got chops. Like, you know, she's died on her arse. She's done social clubs and had to sing and be the cabaret singer, and fucking people at the back, like, literally, she's done a gig once and someone at the back was covering their ears. She's a great singer, but someone's going, and you get chops. It gets you your chops. It gets you, you know, it's your stage time. It gets you your miles. And I think a lot of people started going, a lot of comedians and stuff started going, oh, you just get your wife on. Oh, well, I'll just get my wife on and that'll be a hugely successful podcast. And you go, she is legit. She is the real deal. She is funny, really funny. She's got comedy time, and she's She had it, but again, it's doing shit gigs. It's putting the miles in on the road. It's dying on your arse. It's stuff that can't be taught.
Dealing with failure, basically.
Dealing with failure, yeah, and dealing with the constant impending doom of failure. It's always there. Tomorrow's always the day that it's going to end. It's always the day that it's all going to end, and especially with cancel culture now. It's always the day that's going to end. This could all be over tomorrow. Yeah. Every tax bill you go, this is going to kill us.
You just made me think something. Like that I deal with as well. I never really thought about it until you just mentioned it. I think I personally am more comfortable when I'm not expected to do good, as opposed to when everybody else and myself is expecting to do really good. I'm like, oh shit, this could go really wrong. Yeah. But when I'm expected to do like pretty shit, I'm like, I'm comfortable. Are you the same?
Zero expectations. When there's no expectations, when people are against you, when you're the underdog. Do you know what I mean? Like, I 100% agree. Yeah, like this could be shit. Podcast, me and Rosie, we said we'll do 6 episodes. We'll do this podcast, Shag Married Annoyed. We'll do 6 episodes, share exact words. We'll do 6 episodes. If no one listens, we'll just sweep it under the rug and pretend we never did it. Crazy.
Do you think, we always ask about the career-changing moment, do you think Rosie was your career-changing moment?
Do you know what it is? Yeah, so I had a couple. So before Rosie got involved, you don't have like, very rarely do you have like a breakthrough moment. There's a few people I think in comedy who have had a breakthrough moment where you can really sort of pinpoint. So mate of mine, Kevin Bridges, he did McIntyre's Roadshow. So Michael McIntyre did McIntyre's Roadshow, which was like a spin-off of Live at the Apollo, and Kev went on that, and it was just woomph. And then, but when a moment like that comes, you have to have the talent to back it up. You can have that one big thing, that one viral moment or whatever, but you have to have the talent to back it up. Kevin's a phenomenal stand-up, so he obviously has. So for me, this is really weird, right? So I talk about luck. So I did, can you remember Russell Howard's Good News?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was not at the level to do a set on Russell Howard's Good News at the point that I'm talking about now, right? So I went to watch the warm-up guy do the warm-up. You know, the guy who warms a crowd up before it starts. I went to watch him one day. Went all the way down to London just to watch the warm-up guy, just to see how it's done, because I was going to do warm-up on a different BBC Three show. The night I'm there, the stand-up, the person who's supposed to do the stand-up section, which went out on his actual show went out on a Thursday, and the Russell Howard's Good News Extra went out on a Saturday night with a stand-up, 20-minute stand-up set, or a 50-minute stand-up set.
So just to interrupt there, the warm-up guy's doing what? What's he doing? He's not doing stand-up.
He's warming the crowd up, so he is doing stand-up,
right?
But the camera's on, turned on. Right, the warm-up guy goes out, well, Russell Howard's doing Good News, okay, the fire exits are here, the fire exits are there. Sit down, Russell's going to come out in a minute, we're going to do the show. Is everyone get a round of applause, practice round of applause, a practice laugh, blah, 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 hey, where are you from, mate, blah, 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 just to get them going, right? So that's all he's doing. So I'm literally going to do the behind-the-camera stuff. So the person who's doing stand-up on that episode of the show fucks it up. Don't do long enough, they do unbroadcastable material, and there's hell on so much that they can't broadcast the Russell Howard's Good News Extra show that Saturday. It has to get dropped from the schedule. Completely serendipitously, I'm there that night watching the warm-up guy. I spoke to a couple of people, producers and stuff. They go, we need a contingency plan in case anyone fucks that stand-up up again. We need to get a separate spare stand-up in the can that we can keep in case someone fucks up. Who was that kid who was there that night to do the warm-up? Get him. So I'm down the next week filming the stand-up set that I'm not ready to do. I'm not at that level, and I film the stand-up set, and they go, it'll go up when someone else fucks up. Okay. The fucking week after, a mate of mine, Russell Kane, is on, and Russell Kane walks back and forwards on the screen so much that the pattern behind strobes. Now, they've got a thing on telly where if it strobes too much, it hits a certain mark and you can't put it on telly because it'll give people with photosensitive epilepsy a fit. So he walks too much. So he phones me and he goes, when you did your Russell Howard's Good News clip, what was the feedback like? I went, mine hasn't been on yet, mate. Mine goes on when someone fucks up. He goes, right, well, yours will be on tonight because mine fucked up. So mine went out that night. So 2 completely accidental fuck-ups by people I know, and I just happened to be right place, right time, and it went on.
Is that makes me think though? Is that luck?
I don't think that is.
I think
you're playing yourself down though, because you spoke to people.
Yeah, maybe a bit of networking and all that shit.
Yeah.
But my point being, to take it back to your point, going on as the guy who's doing the spare set, there was no expectation. There was no expectation. Yeah. This guy was here to watch the warm-up guy. He's not even at warm-up guy level yet. We'll do him a favour. We'll give him this set. No expectation. Had a great time. Ends up going out because a mate of mine fucks up. Crazy.
Can I come back to the question about Rosie being career-changing?
Sorry.
No, just because to that, it's a perfect follow-on, is that you've got a clear career-changing moment there, but I meant it more as in like having a partner, having that environment, and then obviously you've gone and done a podcast, which is done incredible. But having her is, tell us about how you met and kind of working together as well. To work with your partner is a big thing within itself.
That must be hard. I don't think we'd make it.
Do you know what, right? There is no one in this world who has my back more than that woman. And there's no one in this world who has her back more than me. And yes, there is moments where, I mean, mate, like we've just re-implemented a rule, which is don't talk to each other before we sit down and do the podcast on podcast day.
I think that's a great idea.
Because we end up, mate, it just ends up life and the kid. And if you order the new school shoes and if you bit and you go, and by the time you sit down, you're like, I don't even want to laugh anymore. Like, this is just, So we just that came in the lockdown. We've just re-implemented it now. So Rosie was, obviously she'd already done all of these things in the past. And I was doing a TV show for Comedy Central called The Chris Ramsey Show. And I had to do Facebook Lives. Remember Facebook Live?
Yeah.
I had to do Facebook Live to promote the show before it went on. And Rosie sat on the sofa with a glass of wine, essentially heckling me Facebook Live. Just heckling us, taking the piss. And I'm going, my wife's here, she's taking the piss. And people loved her. And the views went wild. And she was just saying mad, unfiltered, random stuff. And I don't know where this came from. I know the punchline, but I don't know where this came from. But she shouted one time when I was doing the Facebook Live. We had a girl in my school that got fingered so much her nickname was Pocahontas. That's what Rosie shouted in, and people were like, "She's hilarious, right?" And then we thought, what do we do? I said, look, well, people love Facebook Lives. I was like, let's just do videos where we're talking. And she was banging the podcast at the minute, at that moment, and she said, let's do podcasts. And I poo-pooed the idea. I was like, what? No. I was like, what? And waste this? They weren't videoed at the time. Like, waste this face? And then we did it, obviously, and it just took off immediately. And like I say, it can be challenging. It can be difficult because we're not only parents and married and running a house and living together, but we're also got this business together. And then obviously we had the TV show, then we had the tour and all of these things. But there's no one. I trust her more than anyone in the world. And it's like, the only bad thing is if we're doing a TV show or doing a tour, you don't disappear to separate dressing rooms. Yeah, we're going to the same dressing room, and if there's a freak out, it's both of us freak out. And if I'm kicking off, she's like, well, not only do you have to calm down for you have to calm down for me because we're both part of the same thing. But that way of pulling each other out of the shit and being there for each other, I'm never going to fuck her up on telly. I'm never going to shit on her. I'm never going to steal her joke. She can steal mine and I don't care. But I'm never going to, you know what I mean? If you're presenting something with someone, there's always a bit of, if you're presenting it with just another team of people or another comedian, there's always a bit of that. But with Rosie, there never is. And it's been amazing. And honestly, we will keep doing it until we can't fucking stand each other.
I mean, that's got to be coming. No, it must just be really hard just thinking about like the dynamic with like me and my wife. If ever there's like a camera in the house around and I've got to do media stuff, Charlie's there who does my media and stuff. It's like I struggle to go from like regular normal dad husband life to then being like on camera and then back. Like that must be fucking hard.
The gear shift stuff, yeah. But it's not as tough as, so when I come back from tour, Rosie calls it Tour Chris. It's just like, yeah, Tour Chris now. I've got a much fucking shorter tether. I'm very, like, I'm in the van. We've got, you know what I mean? I've got a Switch too in the back of the van and a telly, and we play Mario. I was playing Mario Kart on the way here with my mate. And I'm on tour with my mate, and we go to these hotels, and I'm going to the gym when I want. I'm playing golf. I'm coming here. I'm playing doing jiu-jitsu. I'm doing what I want. And I come back, and suddenly I'm making stuff for the kids, and it's just like, you're Tour Chris. She's like, take the fucking tone out of your voice. Calm yourself down. You're Tour Chris. Tour Chris isn't welcome in this house. And I'm like, right, okay. So she's already used to slapping us down.
Got it.
So, yeah.
But that's your environment as well. That's so important to keep that all the time.
So I tell loads of people this. Do you know, someone told me that Bono would come back off tour and he would stay in a hotel round the corner from his house and just pop in for a couple of hours a day to get himself
I honestly think it's a wise idea.
Yeah.
It is a wise idea.
It's a great idea, yeah.
Because imagine they're tours.
It's grounding as well.
Yeah, I mean, I struggle to get back to like regular life after like I fought and stuff.
I can imagine, but I imagine that's a much bigger. I'm just going on stage and fucking about and talking shit. I'm used to just having my own way and sending a breakfast back at the hotel if they haven't cooked me fucking bacon properly. You've been diet. I mean, you don't diet. You don't have to diet.
No, I don't like get my weight
doing.
Down. Yeah. It's just, fighting's a like weird bubble because you're in pretty regular life. Then you're in a training camp, which is like semi-regular life, but also you talk about like talk, Chris. I'm like training camp Tom. Of course. Be like, I'm in a bad mood. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's me. And then you go off for a week or two till you fight. You're obviously in fight mode. You do your fight, and then it's like the hours after, you're on a plane, or if you fight, well, I've not fought in the UK for quite a while.
Yeah.
Actually, the couple of fights ago I was in the UK, but before then it was a while. And then it's like you're on a plane, you're back home within a day. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like, fucking hell, what's just happened?
Yeah.
Like, I've just fought in front of 30,000 people.
Yeah.
Millions of people have seen it, and now I'm like sat in my back garden. What the hell's going on?
And not only that, you're back in a world where being hard as fuck doesn't matter anymore.
No one's asked. Like, I walk through the door, and then my kids are just like, oh, well done.
Yeah.
My toenail snapped the other day.
Yeah.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, go on then. And it's just stuff like that. Oh, I did this. My friend fell out with me the other day. I ended up pulling him to the floor. I've also done my homework. And it's just like, it just, it's a quick...
For both of you, though, that must be massive because it just, then you're back to normal life.
Home life just starts again, yeah.
You can't have that the whole time.
Yeah, I know, but like I say, mine's just because I'm having my own way a lot and I've got to come back and parent. But yeah, so weirdly, when I got my blue belt in BJJ, I was so happy, and I stood there and I got photos of all the coaches and I got it on, and I was like, I idolise the blue belts when you're a white belt. I was like, I'll never be that good. I'll never be able to do this. And I got the blue belt, and I remember walking out of the gym and into my car, and I sat in my car and I looked at my blue belt and I thought, right, I've just left the final room where anyone gives two fucks about this belt.
Yep.
I have walked out of the world where they care, and now I got Rosie. I got my blue belt. She was like, well done. That was that. Robin, my son, was excited, but like I took it to school to pick him up, and I was like, I had the belt. He was like, nice. No one gives a fuck.
No,
because we live in a society. Do you know what I mean? We're not in a like, being able to choke someone unconscious is it's like a bad thing in day-to-day life.
Yeah, but at the same time, I wouldn't. I think I'd feel weird the other way. I wouldn't want to be treated like amazing all the time.
I get what you mean.
Do you know? I don't know.
I fully disagree, but I get what you mean. I'm joking.
No, it's a strange one because like I get it a lot where like I'm fucking training, you get fucking sore. Like I'm sore a lot of the time. I'm sore, and like there's plenty of times when I've gone home and been like, I'm fucking sore today. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to do this. Like I've done it so many times over the years, and then she's just like, "Why don't you just stop doing it then?" I'm just like,
yeah,
it's a fair point, but I just
but that's
can't.
not what you wanted. So
Yeah.
That's the same. So I used to do this, and I don't do it anymore. It took us years to learn. Sometimes my wife just wants to vent. She doesn't want a solution.
Yeah,
and I do believe
it's wise.
Yeah, and men, we mature emotionally so much later than women. I've just hit the point now where I will tell her something, and if she offers a solution, I'm like, I don't want a fucking solution.
Yeah.
I just want to vent. I've just hit my emotional maturity where I'm a venter. For years, I was a problem solver. Now I'm a venter. I fear you might have hit the same thing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
we're a bit younger, I think.
Coming on to mid-30s now, though. Coming on to mid-30s. So, yeah, I think... I don't want a solution. I think you're right.
Yeah, I just want to vent.
A lot of the time.
I want
I just need to get it out. I just need to get it out.
Rub me back, tell us it'll be all right, tell us I'm great at it, tell us it'll be all right, and tell us to stick at it, and that's all I want. I don't want
like a logical solution.
Yeah.
Because I know there's one out there.
Yeah.
But I don't want it.
Of course not.
Yeah.
You want to vent. Yeah. It's the emotional, it's the late emotional maturing of a man, I'm telling you. I said this to my wife the other day. I said, I finally caught you up. I'm 39.
Yeah, you're a fair bit older than me.
Yeah, man.
33. Nearly 33.
Good grief, yeah. Well, you're bigger lad, so you've probably matured a bit quicker than me.
I don't know. It's up for debate. I'm not sure. Right, little break in the podcast. Just wanted to ask my mate Charlie here. Mate, do you want to win 150 grand cash?
What if I say no?
I don't think you should say no. I think you should say yeah, because our partners, That Prize Guy, are giving it away. You got to head over to the site, thatprizeguy.co.uk now before it's too late, mate. What are you doing on the?
They're always delivering, aren't they? Just this is.
Mate, 150 G's in cash.
DiCaprio on the boat. That's where I'll be going. Monaco will be saying hello to my mate Eddie Hearn. That'll be it. But mate, what would I do? I would probably invest it, and I would have one big holiday.
Mate, that is unreal. I think everyone could do with 150 grand cash. Make sure you get over to thatprizeguy.co.uk. Check it out. But for right now, we are heading back to the podcast. But do check out thatprizeguy.co.uk.
With that transition from TV, when you were obviously talking about that, and then into podcasts, how do you sort of see that environment of today? Obviously, you now stand up, but then podcasts and all that sort of stuff. Where do you see it all?
So telly's a weird one. Telly is a lot of work, a lot of hoops to jump through. We did a chat show for the BBC. We did 2 series of it. I've done my own chat shows. I've hosted panel shows. I've obviously been a guest on every show you can imagine. Taskmaster, Strictly, everything. But telly's it's a lot of work for the same outcome of an hour of time of entertainment that someone would get for a podcast. To do an hour of TV versus an hour of a podcast, the fucking prep time that goes into that and the time that goes into it is crazy. And live works the same. Comedians are spoilt. I did a sitcom years ago and I couldn't understand that they were doing one of my scenes in the morning and then my other scene right at the end of the day, and I had to wait all day. I was like, are you mental? Do both mine now and I'll leave. And they were like, no, that's not how it works. Stand up, turn up, do your thing, go. Podcast, turn it on, do it, go. Telly and that, the waiting around, it's mad. And just for me, the way my brain works, I find it hard. But podcasts and that have took over at the minute. Live will always be there. Like, you know, people wanting to come and do shoot, watch you do stand up and theatres, and everyone loves a night out. Everyone loves coming to watch a thing. Hopefully it'll always be there. I hope this doesn't backfire and get quoted at as another fucking COVID. But telly takes longer, in my opinion. It takes longer. It's great and I love doing TV, but I'm lazy and my attention span's not great, and I just like to I love that I turn up and just do a show. I'm on for an hour and 10 minutes and I walk away. I love that I turn the mics on, I do 55 minutes and we're done.
Would you say that you get more traction, more eyes on you and stuff from doing podcasting or TV? Because now it's kind of up in the air, isn't it, between the online world and the TV? Because like 10, 15 years ago it was all TV. Now it's changed.
It's really changed, and it's stuff like this. It's like everyone now, if you've got a camera and a mic, you've got a clear line immediately to your audience. Like just a straight chat. You know, there's not a commissioner going, actually, let's change that. There's not a producer going, let's change that. You're going, this is what I want to say. It's in your ear. And I was saying to you guys just before I came in, the intimacy that you feel from a crowd now as a stand-up, because I've been in their ears. If they listen to the podcast, I've been in their ears for hundreds of hours.
They feel like they know you.
But it's really nice. It's so lovely. The laughs that I get from a crowd now on this tour, they're like, I don't want to sound all weird, but they're almost like deeper. Like more meaningful.
Well, it's like, I would imagine it's like telling a personal joke to one of your mates, isn't it?
Yes.
Like they get it on a deeper level.
And it makes they laugh and they make me laugh when they're laughing at it. And I'm telling some things and I'm like, don't get us wrong, some things I've said it. What am I on? I'm probably on the 30th date of the tour, so now I've said it like 30 times and I still enjoy telling it because the reaction is like, you know yourself, you'll have a story that you just tell to people. It'll be, when this happened, you'll tell it. And it's like, it's wholesome, the word I'm looking for. I don't know, but it is. It's like they know you. And I used to be really irritated by musicians. Like, I thought they had it easy. They don't, but I thought they had it easy because if you're going to an Ed Sheeran gig, to get ready during the day, you listen to the album. I listen to the album, and then you turn up on the night and he plays all the songs that you already know, and you're fucking buzzing. And then the next day you put the same album on in the car. And stand-up never had that. Comedy never had that until podcasts. No one was doing that ironing, watching a stand-up DVD. Yeah. No one was walking the dog listening to a stand-up cassette. But now, because of the podcast, you're in the shower with them, you're in the car with them. Not in a weird way. You're walking the dog with them.
Yeah, sure.
And now they're coming to see you. And I mean, for a subscription, I will come in the shower with you, monthly subscription, see my website. It's just so much more of a connection to the crowd. That's what I'm looking for. It's a connection to the crowd that I'm really enjoying. Touch wood, I haven't had as many gigs on this tour where it's been graft.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, even though they all know you, they've all come to see you, your name's on the ticket, sometimes it's graft. Inexplicably, graft.
I think I probably listen to way more stuff online than I would listen to or watch stuff online than I do TV. Like, I don't really watch much on the TV.
It's on demand. It's life, innit? It's like...
He's trying to avoid the fact that he wants to be on Strictly Come Dancing.
No.
He does.
No.
What were you saying? Strictly, I'm a Celeb's been ruled out, really, but I think Strictly's going to be...
There's no chance I do... I wouldn't do any of that kind of... I think the ones that...
Dad? Come on.
No, the ones that I do is I might consider doing that SAS one. If offered, obviously. I've had zero offers yet.
Yeah. You never know.
Traitors, I'd do that. That's like the low-hanging fruit in it for a guy like
Silly good trader.
That's easy.
You'd be good on that.
That's it.
Yeah.
I can't do fucking I'm a Celeb because you can't eat. That's me pissed off for 2 weeks or whatever it is.
Don't say never, because, you know, there's a number that would get us to do anything. But I would be very, very reluctant to do I'm a Celeb.
I'd struggle. I'm being so far away as well. I won't like it.
I need a certain point in my day to be on my own. I can't be on the whole time. I can't be around people all the time. I can't. I need to be. A large portion of my day is just me being a total fucking knob on my own, and I can't. If I'm filmed 24/7, I can't do that. I mean, the whole country going, this guy's the worst.
What about Strictly though? How was that?
Dude,
That sounds like my worst nightmare.
At times, it was a nightmare. At times, it was a massive nightmare. I remember the quote that stays with us is me dancer Karen, who was brilliant. She was so patient. She was amazing. At one point, we're in a dance studio in London. It had a wall of mirrors. And my exact words were, how much do you think one of these mirrors is worth? Because I'm going to put a fucking chair through. That was my exact words that we were learning was it the Charleston or was it the American Smooth? I don't know. It was really tough. But on the Saturday night when you did it, it was like doing a dare. It was like your mates had dared you to do something. That's the best way to describe it. Like an outrageous thing that you were like, well, fuck it, I'll do it. And you did it. And everyone was like, yeah, you did the dare. And then, but you learned, the worst bit was you would learn a dance for a week and you would get it in your head and it would be torture. And you do it on the Saturday and you get through. And on the Monday, it's, right, forget all of that, brand new one this week, harder and nothing like the one you've just done. Unbelievable. Like a language, like learning a new language for your body every week. It was so tough.
You like learning languages?
Yeah, I mean, but I don't have to perform it in front of like millions. What about the Strictly Curse? Was that going on when you were there? Not with you, obviously.
I was dead lucky. Like I was with. They didn't even bother that with me. They didn't like me and Karen were.
I'd
like,
say that was
mates.
an insult, mate. That's a bit of an insult.
Well, I think they spoke to us and thought this guy couldn't shut up a fucking wet paper bag, and his dancing is going to sexually, repulse everyone in the vicinity.
Hey, you got to the semi-final.
Yeah, that was on character and the Northeast contingent alone. I do believe that was just on I threw myself into it. It was one of them things where I was like, look, I'm going to have to throw myself into this. I'm just going to have to do it. And once you're in it, there is a bubble within it and you do want to do well. But how people can shag each other while they're doing that.
It looks intimate. It does look intimate, but it also looks a bit awkward. I feel like I fall very much on the, even with my wife, I fall very much on the side of awkward. Yeah. So there was me and Karen were like mates, we're like brother and sister. It was literally, we would do stuff and it was like high five. Like there was one, I had to do something with me chest or with me shoulders, and we used to say Diaz, when Diaz does that. Yeah.
It was the same. I went, there's a fighter who does that, so she would go Diaz, and I had to do Diaz. No, literally, I'd yeah.
You did a bit of that as well.
Diaz.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. It's a fucking bold move. I remember Chuck Liddell did it, Dancing with the Stars, though, the American version, years ago. It's
that thing in it though. It's like everyone's got their lane. Everyone's got their lane that they stay in, and then you say what's the biggest exposure, TV or podcast. Depends on your lane. Like if you're jumping into another lane, you're exposing yourself to all of the fans and all of the people who take all that. So like podcast versus telly, it's just different markets in it. Really.
Seen the fella on there. I mean, my mum and dad love Strictly. I've not watched it since I lived at my mum and dad's house, so 12, 13 years. But I seen the fella, only highlights of it. I think you've seen it on Instagram. Is he a rugby player or something, or an athlete? The fella with the abs this year. He just had
last year.
Yeah, last year. Sorry. Yeah. Abs out. He looks
you thinking
tremendous.
of Harry Akinzariti, the sprinter?
That's him. Yeah. Mate, absolute beast.
Yes.
Like, you'd have to go in like that.
Yeah, so when in my year, Jamie Lang from Made in Chelsea was supposed to be on it, and he injured his leg on the first night, and he got dropped. And at the last minute, Kelvin Fletcher came in from
EastEnders. Emmerdale.
From Emmerdale. Kelvin fucking absolutely tanked. His first dance, he was unbelievable. I remember we all watched. We were like, "Fucking Jamie Lang, fucking Jamie Lang packed it," and Kelvin won it. Kelvin won my year, and Kelvin was so good. He did in the final. You get to choose one of your other dancers to do in the final. He did his first dance in the final. That's how good his first dance was.
Wow.
And he had his top. He was absolutely stacked. He looked amazing.
I feel like if you do a good first one, though, it's just downhill from then, isn't it?
Well, no, he just honestly, I strongly believe I had the gay vote until Kelvin came in and took all of them gays away from me. Like, I think I might have been the eye candy for the guys until Kelvin came in. I went, I am knackered here. Like, and actually, I got a tweet of someone saying you've lost the gay vote, and I was like, oh fuck.
So what are we saying? Tom for Strictly or not?
No, there's not a number that could make me do it.
I'm telling you, there is.
There isn't.
There is, but I don't think the BBC could hit it. But I'm telling you, in a world,
You have to be 8 figures.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit the bed, okay.
I do it for 8 figures.
Wow, yeah, the BBC will never pay that.
No, I don't think so.
They're never paying that. So. But annoyingly, you'd be good at it. You'd be one of them guys, you would just turn your hand to it and you'd be good at it.
I honestly think I might be. I don't want to play down ballroom dancing.
Yeah.
But my job involves a lot of coordination and rhythm.
And footwork, yeah.
But I don't know anything about dancing. But I'm not opposed to saying I might be all right at it if I put some time in.
Yeah.
But
You're competitive.
If they're going to do 8 figures, I might consider it.
You've got absolutely fucking no chance.
Yeah, well, that's the only chance they've got.
I'll tell you right now, it's favoured nations and it's not 8 figures.
Was that moment? Was that the one where you probably like out of all the things you've done, was it a bit like, what is going on here? How have I ended up here? Or is there been any other times where you've thought,
sorry. Yeah, it was. It's so. A comedian hadn't really done it until Sean Walsh did it the year before me, and Sean had a fucking nightmare, bless him. And then they offered me it, and I was like, do you know what? Until he had a nightmare, he was doing really well, and it was kind of. I don't think I'd have done it if Sean hadn't have done it the year before, because it was. Sometimes you paint yourself into a corner that doesn't really exist as a comedian. You're like, well, I'm not doing any ads because I'm an artist and I'm a comedian and I'm this and I'm that. But then you think, oh no, if it's bums on seats and there's people coming to see you on tour, then it is what it is. Like I say, it's just jumping into a different lane. It's jumping into a different lane and going, hey, all of you lot, my main thing was, don't make a complete tosser of myself. And when I got the chance to speak, try and be funny. That's all I tried to do. And it was just that thing of like, yeah, I mean, the most terrifying moments of my entire career is live on a Saturday night on Strictly, and you stand to show the VT of your training. And then I can't watch it because I get anxiety watching it. But it's a do-do-do-do, and you're standing with your head down and you're waiting in your position. Dancing the tango, Chris Ramsey and Karen Hauer. And and you go, there could be 10 million people watching this. And this is it. And this is my only chance. And this is live. And here we go. Awful. That literally standing. I remember standing looking at the floor on this raised bit that they call the cake. I could have been sick.
Is that worse than thousands of people with just like that first 10 seconds with you and a mic going up?
A million times worse, because I'm completely on my comfort zone. When me and Rosie did the O2, we sold out the O2 for the podcast, and the second section of the podcast.
We sold out the O2 for the podcast?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, it's a big arena.
Mate, in one tour, on the same tour, we did Wembley, Palladium, O2 on the same run. I've got the Guinness World Record for the largest podcast audience ever.
Massive dream, mate.
I think it's been bigger now. I think like Kill Tony and Theo Von and all them, they do bigger ones in America now, but they've never got Guinness to go. Like you've got to get them to go to get the thing. So I think we've still got the record unofficially. But the second section of the podcast was just on a sofa. Rosie's reading out questions and emails from the listeners, and I had no script. I had a glass of wine and no script. Fucking whatever, 15,000, 18,000 people sitting there. So comfortable. So incredibly at home. And we got off and I went to Rosie, we are not wired normal.
Yeah.
Because that should have been terrifying. I am more nervous at school pickup for a random parent trying to talk to us than I am sitting in front of thousands and thousands of people.
Someone listening or watching this then, is that little skill, is that your environment then? Because surely that is Rosie keeping you assured and feeling like...
But even when I'm on my own.
Okay.
Even if I was on my own there, just on the stage in front of all the people, it's just not wired the same. just getting like, and it's often, it's like when, like you'll have mates who've just got normal jobs and normal lives.
Yeah, of course.
And they put so much like sort of weight on like, if there's a christening coming up, or there's a wedding, or there's a weekend away, and it's like, whoa, and I'm like, I get all of that from me job. So stuff like that, I'm not that arsed about. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
but it's like if it's a stag do, I can't go on the stag. You can't go on the stag do. No, because we're all fancy dressed. It's a stag do. I get that drip fed throughout the. I go out in front of, and it's a privilege to be able to do it. But I can't put my finger on why I'm so comfortable doing it. And it's not that I'm used to it, because the first time I got up, I was immediately fine. And then telling people I'm a comedian, doing jokes about being a comedian before I've even done 3 gigs. I don't know what it was, but I just think, I'm going to get really soppy here, but I think I've been really lucky enough to find me thing. And I think I've also been really lucky enough to find me right partner as well. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I think me and Rosie and me, Joe, I think I've just really luckily fell into exactly what I needed to do and where I needed to be and who I needed to be with.
You've always opened your mouth, though, as well, by listening. Don't know, but like listening to your story today, you've always gone and spoke to people and had that sort of...
Yeah.
You say a lot of times you've said about luck, but it seems like you've always been there as well, talking to people, engaging with people.
I think it's a Thomas Jefferson quote. The harder I work, the luckier I seem to get. And you can take that 2 ways. You can see he's either saying, luck's absolute bullshit, or he's saying, it one hand washes the other, it feeds. You know what I mean? Right place, right time, doing more, getting yourself out there more, and the lucky things will hit you more. I believe it's the second one.
Love that. 2 final questions from us that we always ask is that everyone always says about, what would you say to younger Chris? Mm-hmm. What would you say to future Chris?
Future Chris. Future Chris. So am I travelling through time and speaking to future Chris? Or am I saying it now? Explain.
You take it however you want, but in the sense of you can, I don't know, Chris can be 70 and you can say, it's going to be all right, you've done amazing, or whatever the words of wisdom are to future Chris.
Hydrate. Make sure you've hydrated.
I've got a body fat scan in the morning. They told me to hydrate, so it's across the board, mate.
I didn't know where that was going. I'll tell future Tom, you've got a body fat scan in the morning, so put that fucking Domino's down.
Genuinely on the way here, the body fat scan guy rang me and was like, just make sure you hydrate.
Oh my God. What does that entail?
Do you just like stand on the thing and it does like your body? It's like your muscle density stuff and
it's out of 100 and he gets 110.
Yeah, last time I got the highest in-body score.
I remember seeing this.
I think it was 112 I got.
Yeah.
See.
Similarly, friend of mine, one of the kids' mums from the school, she works at NHS and she's involved in cleaning everything, the cleanliness sort of side of it. Well, I don't know what that happens to be, but they've got a machine where you go in and you put your hands in and it scans your hand and you can get a score for how clean your hands are.
Oh, that worried me though. Because I'm a clean guy.
I'm going to fucking smash out when I get back home. Honestly, I'm going to put it in my diary. I'm going to have a day. I'm going to go in and I aim to get the highest score ever for that. I'm a clean dude. I love it.
I also like being clean.
Yeah.
I'm very, I think being on the mats all day and having sweaty people around you.
Yeah.
I'm like, you shake as well.
Yeah, shaking hands with people all the time. I'm like trying to be super clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an in-body scan that I'm having, so it's like it checks the muscle density of everywhere, how much water. It's just proper nerdy athlete stuff. It's fun. But yeah, mate, let's get back to what we're talking about.
Sorry, yeah. So I'd say
hydrate.
Hydrate. Hope you've looked after yourself.
Yeah.
Are you still scared? I would ask him a question, actually. I would say, are you still scared of dying? Because me, nearly 40, think about it almost on a daily basis. I've heard that passes, but I'd like to ask future Chris if he's still shitting his pants about dying.
Oh, wow. Don't have enough time to not that deep.
I feel like we need to start opening this conversation. I'm also scared of dying.
Mate.
I'm not at all.
But no, you know what?
All the time.
I didn't give a shit about dying until I had kids.
Yeah, well,
and now it's not me dying that bothers me. It's what my kids' life would look like if I died.
Them behind.
That would be it. It was not like where am I going to go when I die or anything like that. What happens? It's more just like how does my people's future around me look like if I'm not here?
I think we've hit the nail on the head. Actually, I think you've just solved the question. I think you maybe stop worrying about dying when you know everyone's all right.
Do you know, this is going to sound pretty sick, but I'm going to tell you a story about my mindset and dying. We were going on holiday recently, me and my family, me, my wife, kids. And I thought...
I know exactly what you're going to say. I'm going to whisper it in his ear.
Go on.
Because you're going to say the same thing.
I've never actually spoke to anyone about it.
Just said it.
I've never spoke to anyone about the same thing, but I bet it is the same.
Right.
And I thought, if this plane goes down and we all die, that's kind of all right.
Literally said that. Is that okay if the plane goes down because they're all together?
Yeah, that's better than me going on a plane and it going down and everyone else being left behind.
Fucking sick as fuck, innit?
I don't know. I felt a bit sick at the time.
I know what you mean. If I go, you're all going. But it's not that. It's you knowing that you're not letting anyone... So, again, to speak about you two again, they would all take separate planes. They would take separate planes in case they all went down and the band was finished. Me and Rosie consider doing that. When we're both on a train to London, we're quite worried because we're both away here. Like, we're fucking Peter Parker. Like, both his parents died when he was away.
You go away without your kids, that's the main worry.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Mate, that's the main worry.
No kids, yeah.
Well, it's like, so me and my missus have never been away out of the country.
Yeah, without your kids.
Leaving the kids, never. And we've had plenty of opportunity to do it. We've had loads of opportunity. Like, even like work stuff, I'm like, I've got to do this one thing in Vegas.
Yeah.
My missus has never even been to America. I've got this one thing in Vegas. It's all paid for. We'll spend like 3 days there. I'll do this one thing for the day. The other 2 days, let's check out Vegas. And she's like, no, because if the plane goes and we both die, that's it. And I'm just like, fair enough.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So, 2 planes. Just she goes out a day early or you go out a day early and then the same coming
now
back.
He's had a private jet as well,
Yeah, the things have changed, mate.
I've seen the photo,
Not sponsored private
I got a private jet to the Isle of Man recently, so it's the level I'm at.
The final question. When the pressure is at the highest for you, what is going on inside the mind of Chris Ramsey? In the game?
When the pressure is at the highest. I think I can turn it on. I think I can. I think if I'm being completely honest with myself here, if I'm going comedy answer, I'll be like, oh, I crumble, I want to go home and climb into bed. I think I turn it on. I think I had you sometimes have moments like this on stage where you're not getting as much from the crowd as you can. There's no pressure like standing on stage and going, this might be going south. This might be going south. And going, just silently in your head going, right, here we go, and just stepping it up and going. Sometimes with a crowd, you've got to feel their rhythm, and sometimes just going hell for leather and throwing it at them isn't the answer. You've got to feel the rhythm you've got to get, but sometimes going, right, I'm going to literally pin you down and fucking jam this in your face is the way to go. And I think if I'm being honest with myself, I'm not trying to give a comedy answer, I think I turn it on. But I think I thrive under pressure.
It's a use of anxiety again, isn't it? And,
yeah.
And that's you've said that as well, and also pinning people down and beating the shit out of them.
Yeah.
I remember mine's metaphorical, his is literal. But I remember when I was a kid, I got it's always stuck with us. One of my reports said he excels in exam situations. So when I know we're fucking about, I don't try. When I know we're just fucking around, I'm not bothered. But when I know something's on the line, I switch it on.
Love that. But what a great way to finish it, mate. It's been a pleasure to
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Great chat. Thank you.
We've got the same we've got the same neuroses. Yeah.
I never said that out loud before. Maybe we should edit that out. I don't know.
It's very relatable. It's very relatable.
Chris, give a shout out to all channels, podcasts, everything that's coming.
I'm on. I was on tour. I did the first leg. The second leg is in the autumn. ChrisRamseyComedy.com for them. And my podcast I do with my wife is called Shag Married Annoyed. Available in all your podcast shops. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That has been Chris Ramsey, The Inner Game with Tom Aspinall. We'll see you next time.
Next time on The Inner Game, Leah Shutkeever.
I never wanted to be depicted on a video online stuffing food like I do into my face. I think that I see myself as disgusting and other people are like, this is amazing. I'm like, is it? I started to receive weird messages from weird people. If I'm going to have to experience this, all of you are going to experience this with me and we're going to do this together. What about their mental health? They should have thought about that before sending me a message. I get some major performance anxiety.
Yeah, but does that not affect your eating? Because I actually feel physically sick before a fight. I'm like, I could throw up. Yeah, what's the worst that can happen in a challenge?
I'll tell you.